Well, hello, Scrappers. Mike here. Welcome back to my channel, and time for another Q&A session and some channel announcements. Things are going to be done differently around here in the future. Um, we'll get to that in a minute. Let me talk about the number one question I've been getting a lot of lately is, where are you? Where are the videos? What happened? Have you stopped putting out videos? No. No, 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 no. No. I've talked about this before. I gave you guys warning that this was going to happen. I went back to work. My former employer contacted me and said that they wanted me to back. They wanted me to come in and help them out with some projects. And I thought it was going to be more of a 1, 2, 3 days a week thing, but it's turned into more of a most days a week thing. So I have a lot less time for doing the videos. But, you know, it's interesting work. It's challenging work. I work with really good people who I enjoy being with, and I know them. I've worked with them before. And the pay is really good. It's certainly a whole lot better than what YouTube pays for putting out these videos. So you got to get your priorities in a line. It's like, okay, lunch money from YouTube or big bucks from a job. Not a hard decision, really. So the videos have to get snuck in here and there when I have some free time. So that's why there haven't been so many of them now. Also, I was out of town for a month. Every year, my wife and I spend about a month out west in the springtime. We go fossil hunting in Nebraska. We spend time at our Wyoming ranch. We do a lot of rock hounding. Videos on all that stuff can be found on my second channel, Mike's Lapidary Fossils. So check that out if you haven't already. If you're at all interested in fossil hunting, rock hounding, lapidary, any of that stuff, check out that channel. I think you'll find some stuff that'll interest you, and that'll explain why there have been so many videos on this channel. Um, so. So yeah, also, since I've been so busy, there have been fewer scrap pickups, but we'll talk more about that later too. Um, but yeah, that's why there haven't been so many videos. I haven't shut down the channel. I haven't given up. I've just been really busy with stuff that makes me better money than the YouTube videos. So and like I said, it's good, enjoyable, challenging work. So I don't mind it. Um, Maybe some videos will even come out of it. We'll see. We'll see. All right, so let's get on to the channel announcement. We're going to have a slight formatting change around here. Maybe not so slight. I'm just going to do things a little differently. And I see other channels doing this, and they're still very popular channels, so I don't think this is going to drive you folks away. At least I hope not. But I do long form videos. That's my thing. I know you guys don't like the shorts. You don't come here for the shorts. Whenever I post a short, I get all kinds of complaints and downvotes on the shorts. And quite frankly, I don't like the shorts either. They're not good for much. But I do the long form videos, and usually they are multi part videos. I'll take on a project that may be 2, 3, 4, 5 parts or more. So there have been some 6 and 7 part videos where the videos are close to an hour long each. So what I've been doing up till now is trying to release all parts of those videos one after the other. So it'd be part 1 of Project X, part 2 of Project X, part 3 of Project X, last part of Project X. Then it'd be part 1 of Project Y, then part 2 of Project Y, part 3 of Project Y. Project Z might just be one video. So I'm trying to release them all in that order, but it can be difficult to do that and maintain a decent release schedule. Sometimes, like the project I'm working on now with Joven's Palladium from Taiwan, part 4 of that is taking weeks. So, in the meantime, while I'm waiting for certain stuff to happen on that, I've started filming other videos on other projects. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to release things with a different order. Oh, it's starting to rain. Hopefully it won't interfere with this video too much. That's why I decided to do this today, because it's raining and it's going to limit what else I can do. I said, well, I need to do this Q&A video. I'll do it today. So anyway, What I'm probably going to do is I'm going to do a staggered release. So you got Project X, which is going to be like 4 long videos, okay? And I can get video 1 and video 2 out on Project X, but I've got like several weeks or a month before I can get video 3 out. So instead of waiting that long to release a video, it'll be like, okay, part 1 of Project Y will come out. And then maybe Project Z, which will be a single video, will come out. And then maybe it'll be part 2 of Project Y. And then it'll be part 3 of Project X. And then part 4 of Project X. So basically, it's just going to be a little bit mixed up and staggered that way. I'm hopefully that is not going to be a problem for you. That they're just certain projects, it takes a long time to get specific parts done. Like getting all of the strips from Joven's palladium plated e-waste dissolved in aqua regia took weeks, weeks. And rather than standing around twiddling my thumbs when I had time to make videos because I was off work, I just started doing other stuff. So you're going to see other videos mixed in with the stuff from Joven's Palladium in the future. So, and then they'll probably just carry on like that down the road because I've got ideas for other projects that are going to take a very long time to get all the videos together. And some of the videos, you've got to wait on material to arrive. Sometimes a piece of equipment will break down and you need to repair it or replace it. And you're going to be down for a while. And in the meantime, you can do other stuff. And quite frankly, sometimes I just get bored with one project because I've been working on it for a month or two. And it's like, I want to work on that instead. So, that's some of the reasons why things are going to get mixed up a little bit. Hopefully, like I said, you folks aren't going to be confused by this, annoyed by it, and can still keep track of the projects you're really interested in as the videos come out. There'll just be some videos in between those videos. So I hope I'm explaining that in an understandable way. I can babble sometimes. I do a lot of editing. A lot of babbling gets edited out of my videos. People tell me I talk too much in my videos. You should see the raw footage. It's scary. But anyway, I hope I'm explaining that in a way that's understandable and it won't be a problem for you folks. Okay, so I talked a little bit earlier about how there's fewer scrap pickups just because I don't have time to do them, okay? And if I did have time to pick them up, sometimes I do a scrap pickup and stuff just sits around because I don't have time to deal with it. And then my yard gets full of stuff and it's like, I better not do another scrap pickup because I don't have time to deal with stuff I've got now. I'm not going to have time to deal with new stuff I pick up. But the scrap pickups do happen from time to time, but even if I do them, I don't necessarily have time to do videos of them. Let me show you something. It's like the rain has let up. It's rained like 2 or 3 times already today, and it's just sort of intermittent drizzle. But the rain has let up, so let me go show you something. What's going on out there with a scrap pickup right now that I have not had time to make any video of. I've just had to rush through it really quickly so I can get it to the scrap yard, get the stuff out of the yard, so I can go back to work on Monday morning. Yeah, so here's my trailer. As you can see, it is quite loaded down with scrap ready for the scrap yard, including the big elephant in the room over here, this big CNC lathe I got. So I'll give you a quick rundown on what this is. A client of mine wanted me to pick up this lathe. They've scrapped it out. So it weighs, I don't know, half a ton or so, maybe more. It's heavy. But it was the only thing they had for me. So I went over and I picked it up. And I'm like, well, I don't know. I don't know if I want to make a video about one item, okay? Even though, when I got it home, even though they had scrapped it out, they'd taken everything usable off of it to keep their other equipment going. There was still a lot of good stuff on it. I pulled, a couple of miles of copper wire out of it. I pulled a computer box out of it that's actually appeared on my other channel, Electric Geek 64, because it's a great retro computer find. Check that out if you like. But really, I was working on this thing between rainstorms in a big hurry, in the evening after work, just trying to get it stripped out so that I could take it to the scrap yard. And I piled all of the other scrap that's been accumulating around the yard onto it after I pulled as much usable stuff out of it as I could in a big hurry again. Uh, and I got a lot of PC motherboards and hard drives and memory sticks and stuff here, and just there's all kinds of equipment here, all kinds of interesting equipment. And my stepson's thrown some of his automotive scrap on here for me. So this is all going to go to the scrap yard here in a day or so, and we'll get my trailer back, and I'll have a little bit of walking around money. But yeah, there haven't been a whole lot of scrapping videos, even though the scrapping has kind of continued. It's just it's all done in a big rush, in a hurry, usually in the evening after work, between getting home and dinner, and between dinner and sunset. And it's like, I don't have time to set up the camera and film this. But yeah, scrapping does still happen. It's just kind of on the QT and in a hurry, and not as much as I had been doing. So again, it's a matter of priorities, couple $100 at the scrapyard versus a big paycheck from work. It's not a hard decision to make. The big paycheck from work wins every time. So yeah. All right, so that's the scrapping issue. So yeah, scrapping is still happening, just at a much lower level than before, and I don't film it. All right, so next question. One question I get a fair amount over and over again is about Eco-Goldex. Should it be used for this or that? Will it work with this or that? And why am I going to do another video on Eco-Goldex? Why am I not doing videos on Eco-Goldex? Okay, probably time to clear the air on that. When I first found out about Eco-Goldex, I thought this was going to be the end-all, be-all for gold-plated scrap. I really did. I was really enamored with it. It sounded like a really great product. And don't get me wrong, it works. It works. It just has some issues. And, well, what are the issues? Well, it's too much work. There's too much effort that goes into it. I mean, you got to mix it up. Then you got to filter it. Then you got to, strip the plating off with it. Then you got to filter it. Then you've got to adjust the pH on it. Then you got to filter it. And then you can drop the gold with zinc. And then you've got to treat the resulting gold sponge with acids to get rid of the residual zinc. And then you've really got dirty gold that you've got to reprocess. That is a lot of steps. And I thought originally that, I would have less waste with Eco-Goldex, because the alternative is like to dissolve all the base metal in acids, which produces a lot of acidic heavy metal waste. And I thought I'd have less waste with the Eco-Goldex. Well, it turns out you wind up with a lot of waste liquid from Eco-Goldex, and it's really caustic and nasty, and it's got nasty stuff in it too. So it's really no improvement on the waste front. And I have put in place a waste treatment system that allows me to A, recover copper from my waste liquids, which is valuable these days, yeah, and treat what's left over so it's harmless and I can dispose of it responsibly. So really the waste issue with Eco-Goldex is actually more of an issue with Eco-Goldex than it is by dissolving all of the base metals, okay? There's just too many problems with Eco-Goldex and too much work. It's also hard to get in a lot of places, which makes me reluctant to recommend it. I know that in some parts of the world it's really hard to get, and I have an international audience. I mean, most of you watching are in the U.S., Canada, wherever. But I mean, all over the English-speaking world and some non-English-speaking countries, you have a pretty big, international audience, and it's hard to get in places. So, those are some of the reasons I don't recommend it much or use it much. It's not. I also thought it was going to be less expensive than the alternatives of dissolving all the base metals in acid. I thought it would be less expensive than doing that, but I found cheap ways to do it. Poor man's nitric, poor man's aqua regia. They're dirt cheap to make. sulfuric acid drain opener and a little bit of sodium nitrate, and you've got poor man's nitric acid, some muriatic acid, and some sodium nitrate. You got poor man's aqua. These are dirt cheap chemicals, and I think in the long run they're cheaper than the Eco-Goldex. So that's why I don't recommend the Eco-Goldex or use it as often as you might think I would be, considering how enthusiastic I was about it in the early videos where I started using it. I mean, there are other problems with it I haven't even mentioned. I thought it would help me out with a lot with connectors, with a lot of little gold-plated pins inside them, where it would get in there and dissolve the gold out, and that would be great. Well, what I found was that those connectors have a lot of void spaces in them that trap the pregnant liquid, the gold-laden liquid. They trap it in there, and it's hard to get that liquid back out. I think in some cases, connectors suck up more gold than they actually release in Eco-Goldex. So I'm still looking for a good method of getting all the gold plating off of lots of different types of connectors, especially ones with a lot of void spaces inside them. So explored incineration first, but that has its own problems because a lot of them are like glass-filled plastic, and they don't incinerate well. And yeah, there's a lot of problems with dealing with connectors. I'm still looking for a good solution. I've tried shredding them and separating the metal out. That's probably the most economical and most efficient way I've found, is to just shred them with like some of my mining equipment I have, my ore crushing equipment, and then separating the metal out, and then processing that. That is probably the best way to go. But of course, not everybody has a machine that will shred connectors. So, you know, I'm still looking for a good way to do it, to recommend it to people. And I haven't quite found that yet. Still looking, still looking. But yeah, Eco-Goldex, it's just not the end all be all I thought it was in the beginning. It probably still has some really good, useful niche applications. If you've got a lot of gold plated material, like, say, maybe gold plated circuit boards, it might work well with gold fingers, although I have to be honest, I haven't tried it with gold fingers because, AP solution and lots of other ways work easy enough with gold fingers. So, but if you've got a lot of gold fingers, it might work. Gold plated circuit boards, um, I don't know, gold plated transistors, maybe it might work. Although you might want the bond wires out of the transistors too. Don't forget about them. They're buried deep inside, so you might still have to incinerate or crush the transistors or something. Um, so yeah, gold-plated jewelry. Yeah, there's an application where you can strip the gold plating off. Although I have found it only works really well on plating. If you've got a thick layer of gold on something, like some thick gold-filled jewelry, it takes forever and it doesn't get all the gold. So yeah, so thin gold plating though takes it right off. So that's why you don't see too many Eco-Goldex videos coming out. You don't see me recommending it a lot in the comments on the videos when people ask about it. So I just thought I'd clear the air on that because I haven't really addressed it on camera. Why, there years ago there were all these Eco-Goldex videos and I was promising more and talking about how great the stuff was. Well, as I've tried using it more and more, I found the issues, and well, I found alternatives that work about as well or better than Eco-Goldex. Though I'm sure it still has its niche applications where it would work great. And feel free to try it and let me know how your experience with it is. I know they're constantly reformulating it, making it better, supposedly. Maybe there's less effort in the newer formulations, but my experience with it was it's just too much work and too many problems for what it does. That was my experience, though. Your mileage may vary. Okay, I guess that's about all I've got to talk about today. Subscribe to see the future videos I've talked about. There's going to be more on Jovens Palladium and this other project I've started while working on Jovens Palladium. I think you'll find it very interesting. One of those videos will be out soon. and lots of other good stuff coming down the pike in the future when I can get to it. You know, work, work. So we'll probably be lucky to get one video a week out at the most going down the road. But subscribe to see those videos and check out my two other channels, Electro Geek 64, Mike's Lapidary and Fossils. You might find something interesting there. And I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching this one. Bye.